Hello YouTube, welcome back to the latest episode of Domo Talks. I don't know, well, I guess I would say it's been a while, but... Well, I don't know, it's probably been a week, probably, but to me it's like it's been a while. And... Let's see... Oh, sure, I actually know what I was talking about. Oh yeah, well, basically, you're new to this, well, Domo Talks is basically the segment where I, Domo, of Team K4RD F, talk about any sort of news related to anime, manga, gaming related stuff. Anything that like I come in interest to. Like I've talked about anime, some manga news and gaming stuff in past episodes. And we're gonna continue off that today, in this episode. And let's see. Just mentioning, I do usually upload Don't Talks on Fridays, but then now I'm changing it to Saturday nights because that way I get to see the content for Friday and Saturday. Then after I watched it, like the actual week's worth, I'll upload the videos Saturday night. That way, because past Don't Talk episodes where they were uploaded Friday, I had to watch something on Saturday, then I couldn't actually put that in my previous episode. So this way, I'm able to like watch more stuff and then talk about it in this episode video thing, which I'm doing right now. Okay, so start off. I did not talk about Beholder in the Darkness in previous episodes, so I'm going to do that now. So Beholder in the Darkness, or In the Darkness, what I call it, because I can't pronounce Beholder. At first, when I saw the trailers for it, I thought that... Let me think. I thought it was a school romance at first, yeah. Because the characters, like, when they showed the trailer for the characters, like the designs and whatnot, they had, like, school uniforms. And then, when they actually showed the first episode, it was like, it blew my expectations because it was like, wait, what? It's not a romance school thing? It was like a very sci-fi action kind of thing, I guess? I don't know. Oh yeah, probably anime spoilers, just saying. The setting of In the Darkness is pretty good, and the characters are also, in my opinion, pretty good because that's what kind of intrigued me to watch the anime first. Because I saw the first two character like designs, and I thought that it would be good. I didn't know anything about story until the first episode came out, and then when the first episode came out, then after I watched it, it was like it was a very good story, and that's what kind of drew me to watch Beholder in the Darkness up till now in episode 8 or 7 or whatever it is right now. So far, it's getting pretty good in my opinion, and I know there's a manga for it. Most of my friends have read the manga and are watching the anime at the same time, but you know, I won't read it just so I won't spoil myself because the anime is pretty good. And I guess that's it for In the Darkness. If I come across anything, I don't want to spoil too much. I know I do that in some episodes, but this time I won't try to. Let's see. Next in Don't Talks, I want to in the spring anime, we're pretty like 5 or 6, 7 weeks in. I don't know the exact number, but so far from what I could tell in the spring anime, we have a lot of well, I guess I would say arcs or whatnot because. So basically, what made me look to this is because in Black Bullet, the anime, the first 4 episodes was one arc with the masked guy, and then after that was done, we went to this new arc with I forget which character it was, but the other contractor or initiator, one of the lowlies, and then it's like, okay, episodes 1 through 4, the introduction arc ish, then a new one. Also, if you look at Mahoka or Irregular at Magic High School, you see that the first 7 episodes is enrollment part whatever. And then now in episode 8, which I haven't watched yet, is the new arc, which I don't know. I thought it was called the high school fight something. I don't know, there's Challenge High School. Anyways. I think those are the only 2 anime that I've noticed like this arc type of arc system or like enrollment part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, and so on. In Black Bullet, it didn't like exactly do that, but you could just tell when something ends because you had like the main villain masked guy only appear in the first 4 and then die. Then you went on to like another case, and yeah, that's like an arc sort of. Yeah, that's like about all the arcs I can tell about for now. So I just found it pretty interesting because you can kind of tell like where the story is going at, and now in like a regular, I can tell that the story is going a new type of direction, or like something will happen in this new arc, and so will Black Bullet because the arc for whatever that was with the new Loli or what's her name, Tina, yeah, Tina, there you go. With her, it's over now, and something new is gonna happen, so I can't wait to see that. And I think there might be other arc stuff, like arc type kind of anime in this season, but I just don't know about it. But there's the ones that I could probably think about. So next on other news, so in Domo Talks, I do talk about a lot of other anime, but I don't talk about like a lot of the other anime that I watch because I have a lot, and it probably makes sense right now because I'm talking so fast. But so from now on, in every Domo Talks episode, I will mention at least one other anime that I've watched, and like it's kind of like, oh hey, there's this anime, blah, and check it out because it's pretty good, and I watched it or something like that. So for this week's anime mention, I guess I call this, yeah, the Domo anime mentions. I will mention something I haven't talked about in no app talks, which I have to look up my list. I have talked about Planet, darn it. Uh, I talked about okay, let's talk about, what was that? Okay, let's ignore that noise for now because I'm off camera right now. So anyways, let's go talk about, okay, let's talk about, I'm saying this a lot, but let's just, meh, you know what I'm trying to do. I talk about Love Live too much already. Well, yeah, so basically, I have talked about a lot about Love Live and Black Bullet and No Game No Life and all that stuff, and yeah, they're pretty good anime of the season, but there were some great stuff that were like, in the past, and I just found the one I want to talk about. So basically, uh, I did not, never mind, I lied to you guys, I can't find anything to talk about. Oh! Yeah, might as well talk about this. Okay, so forget the anime mentioned stuff because I don't know about you guys, but so this series that I'm talking about right now, I'm going to mention, is it is an anime, but it's yet not an anime. What does that mean? I don't know. So basically, this series online called RWBY, RWBY. Some of you might not know it, some of you may know it, but for those who don't know it, basically RWBY is like this. If you've seen Rooster Teeth or Red vs. Blue or that kind of like the group, basically it's like this animated series about like about this awesome kind of like, shit, how do if I look up the actual thing, I might be able to find it. You know what? Let's do that. So I'm on my computer right now. I have a mouse right here, so I'll just look up what exactly RWBY is because I can. So like I said before, RWBY. So basically, RWBY is 2D, or was it 2D? I don't know. Excuse me. RWBY isn't like professionally animated by like actual anime. It just has like 2D, 3D, I don't know, something models, and the characters look like they're from an anime. So that's basically like, if you look up Crunchyroll, you'll find RWBY, the RWBY, and Crunchyroll, as you know, is like a place to watch anime. And in my opinion, I consider RWBY an anime, yet not anime, because it has the anime art style, yet it doesn't like. It's not an anime. It's made by people from America. So if I could go right here and look up RWBY. Sorry, I won't actually put the footage of me on the computer just because, for time's sake. RWBY is at what? Alright, here we go. RWBY, RWBY, is an anime-styled American CG animated web series created by the Rooster Teeth Productions Animation Studio. The series is created and directed by animator Monty Ohm. So there you go. That's what RWBY is. And for one, all the episodes are like only about 5 minutes long, maybe 5 to 10, I don't know. And yeah, like I said, it's a web series, so it's not actually like 24 episodes long, or 24 minutes long, my bad. Like other animes, but it's like a web series that's fan made by Sorry about the little cut, but stuff happening outside that I don't want to get involved with. Anyways, back to RWBY. RWBY is, like I said, RWBY is not an anime. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. So back to what I'm saying. RWBY is not an anime, yet it is sort of an anime, in my opinion, and it's just so awesome. And season 1 ended at 12 episodes, and that's probably like an hour, I guess, in my opinion, of how long that whole season is. Like I said, it's a web series. You can't help it. It's not that like professionals are making this, but they are professionals, sort of, because they're good. And season 2 or volume 2 is coming out very soon in the summer, so I can't wait to see that. So that concludes the anime mentions, sort of this episode. So next week I will probably talk about something else, and we'll see. I'll mention something other anime. Maybe in the next Domo Talks I'll put a more in-depth analysis on RWBY. But let's go continue. So that is, like I said, concluding the other anime mentions, the Domo mentions of the anime. So the next, I'll talk about No Game, No Life again, just because for some reason it's super good. So in episode 7, spoiler warning, yeah, repeated stuff. Anyways, in episode 7, we see that Shiro and Sora and Stephanie, I remember her name, yeah, they go to the library and they finally fight Jibril, which is the, what do they call it? The Beast King Warriors or something like that? The animal human hybrids, and she has like wings, I don't know. So basically they fight her, right? And basically like the fight was super awesome, and the only reason that supposedly in the end, like in the episode, like, oh, she lost because you underestimated us humans, or like, yeah, they underestimated them basically. And I think that's like, well, that's just how they won. And then like I remembered the speech they had in episode 5 or 4 or 6 or whatever. So basically, what I'm talking about here is the speech they made in that episode when they become the king, and like they make that whole the awesome speech about like humanity, because that's what they call humanity, not humanity, about humanity being like weak and how they're like losing, right? Because all of humanity thinks that they're weak and they're losing because they have their territory, they're the weakest, and it's true that they were the weakest. But then like Shiro brought up like Sora, he brought up the fact that at the time when they didn't have the 10 rules or laws or whatever they called it, that humans were the top. Why? Because human, like, here, basically what I'm trying to get at is they made the thing that humanity / humans were weak, but then it was because that they were weak that they were able to become strong. And that was like kind of, I can sort of relate that to real life, I guess. I don't know, or to like humans in general, in my opinion, because if they say that the weak are dominated by the strong, and that, well, there are the weak and there are strong, and the weak have to be like, the weak are there because they are strong. You're either weak or strong. But then in this one, it's like, because they are weak, they strive to become strong or something like that. I'm not good with these kind of like analyzing morals or whatnot, but I just found that I found it awesome. And then like after they said their speech, they were accepted as the kings of humanity. And then like, they challenged the whole, whatchamacallit, the kingdoms, the other kingdoms. And I was like, dude, that is awesome as hell. And like, it was a good speech. And people can be weak, in my opinion. But then like, he has a point that because we are like, okay, like I said before, there are the weak and there are the strong, but no one does have to be weak. And if you're weak, it kind of makes you strive to become strong, and that's something that actually really happens. And I just kind of like that kind of, like they added that in the anime, and there was mentioned with the use of humanity. And if you haven't seen No Game Life, I highly recommend it. It's pretty good. The games are pretty awesome to watch, and how they fight. And that concludes that. So next, we have the main events, or the main topic of discussion in Domo Talks. So, if you guys don't remember or don't know, let's see if I can find it. I did mention in one Domo Talks episode that I am a fan of gaming, and of course, with games comes great games. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. No, I'm just kidding. Did not find this one game I wanted to show you. Probably because I haven't shown it anywhere yet. Oh, of course it'd be in here. Hold up. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. The one game I want to show you. Let's see. It's in here. Dang, it's not. Oh, it is here. Okay, sweet. Alright. Gaming stuff. We have this. So yes, I am a fan of the Persona series. If I hadn't mentioned that in previous Domo Talk episodes. And Persona is freaking awesome. The series is good. The games are freaking good. And the games is not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is... Excuse me for a second. What I want to talk about is the Persona movie of Persona 3, the movie that came out finally after a year. It was released in Japan. I mean, like, finally... Put this away. I need that. So finally, the movie was released, and I just watched it recently, I think... When was that? I think it was Friday. Maybe? Was it yesterday? I don't know. Friday or Thursday. One of those days. Basically, I watched the movie. So basically, the game I do own, yes. I have beaten the game as the main guy, not the girl. Because the girl took too long and was repetitive. I have water. No, I don't have water. Crap! Anyways. The movie. Finally, like, so basically the movie was released like 2013, I think. I don't know. And then it took a year to finally come to America and be subbed because... That's how Japanese like anime movie works. And after finally watching the movie, I was like comparing it to the game, and the movie is so much better in my opinion. Why? They make a huge and more in-depth detail to the main character and his background. So of course, if you played the games, spoiler or alert, just warning because it might say something. So in this game, you don't actually ever see the main character talk. You just like. You're silent and all, and the only time you ever talk is when you make a choice. In the anime, you finally get to see the main character talk, and you see how the main character in the movie, this said anime, but it's the movie, he has no emotion whatsoever. And then when I saw that, I was like very confused because one of the main characteristics of Persona games is to like have this like friendships and bonds and whatnot, but then when I saw that the main character in the movie was so heartless and emotionless and didn't like anyone, what is that? Ew, no. I was like, dude, what the heck? And then it's like, so basically, if he's talking to someone in the anime, it's like, I don't care, or get away from me, or something like that. And it's like, oh, why do you care about dying, or something like that? And then, is it really that bothering? And it's like, friends, question mark. And I was like, what the frick? This is the main character for the series? And I was like, that's impossible because in this game, I did have like a lot of social links and this curiosity. Okay, it's not in here. Or whatever. So basically, spoiler alert, the movie. So basically, there will be 4 movies from what I heard. I hope there will only be 3, but I think there will be 4. So this whole game the movies will be based off 4 parts. And the first part was basically the main character arriving, introing, and then it ends once they recruit Fuko, and that was the end of the first movie. I think it was called Spring of Birth or something like that. Persona 3, the movie Spring of Birth. Maybe wrong, but look it up. And basically, what drew me into this... Well, for one, they kind of use like stuff from the games, like changing the daytime and whatnot, and like game sort of looking characteristics or like stuff from the games, But one of the main things that hooked me up to this movie, even though I've played the game already and seen everything, was the main character, because they showed a lot more like about this character, and you were not able to get that in the game. You're only able to see him not talk or like not see him like as a character. because technically in the game you are the character and whatever you do is what he does. But in the anime, he's his own guy, and I think like I know for sure the guy in here is supposed to be Minato. I think in the manga his name is Minato, but in the movie his name is Yuki. I was like, okay, but it makes sense. In Persona 4, the manga, I think his name was Seta Soji or something like that, and then in the anime his name was Narukami Yu. I was like, okay, fine. Don't want to. Minato sounds better. Yuki sounds like a freaking girl's name, not like. Well, Yukari is a girl, and like Yuki, I would have went for Minato, but Yuki's not bad. I know some Yuki male characters in animes, right, Nikki? Anyways, like I said, so the movie it ended when they got Fuko and they defeated the Shadows, and that was the cut part or the split. And the next movie will be featuring Aigis and like the summer vacation, I believe. So it's gonna take a long, long time to see the next part of the movie. But for one, I thought that the movie was pretty good, and because it's so different from the game, considering I played the game. If you haven't played the game, then yeah, go ahead. Feel free to watch the movie. It's pretty awesome. It gives you like a huge in-depth look on this character that we don't ever get to know his true like how personality in the game because we are him. And I have no clue when the next movie will come out. I know it's gonna come out in Japan very soon, but like you have to wait another. Excuse me. You have to wait another year for the movie to come out on DVD supposedly, and then people will get the movie, sub it, and then bring it to America. And like, I think that's how it works. I'm not sure. That's what I thought I saw that somewhere, but I could be wrong. But I know for sure it took a year or like really like months for the movie. Like that movie came out first, then someone finally subbed it and brought it to the online whatever or to America, and it's gonna be a long time since we see part 2. But it's worth waiting for because the movie's so awesome. Alright, that concludes that. So, let's conclude what we've talked about so far in Domo Talks. For one, Bring Under the Darkness is pretty good. I suggest you watch it. It is a very good sci-fi mystery kind of anime, action-packed. I didn't actually talk much in depth about it, huh? Dang it, I'll do it next time. Next, I talk about some of the spring anime and how we see like an arc system being used, like introduction or like intro to the anime, part 1, part 2, part 3. And then, I thought that was pretty like it's good, I get to tell when something like different's gonna be happening, like Mahoka or Black Bullet. And then next we did the anime mentions, the newest like segment of the Domo Talks inside a segment. It's a segment inside a segment where for now on every episode I will be mentioning one other anime TV/series that I've watched and will recommend to you the viewers. And then after I talked about that, I looked into No Game No Life episode 7 where he played a game against the Beast King warrior animal hybrids, and basically the only reason that and the whole reason of like how humanity is weak, but because people are weak they strive to become strong, and that's why the humans were the strong. Humanity was the strongest in No Game No Life, and I thought that kind of moral slash like story, thought, thinking thing. I don't know, idea, whatever, was cool because we're sort of humanity, humans, And then I concluded it with Persona 3 and the series and the movie, and it's so good. Watch it. If you're not a fan of Persona, then I highly recommend it as the second, mention. Talking for this long is pretty tiring. Alright, that's all today I have for Domo Talks. Be sure to stay tuned next week for the next episode where I talk about something. I will talk about something, don't worry about it. And that is it. And if you like the video, if you like today's episode of Domo Talks, like the video, subscribe to us if you haven't. I just want to say a quick thank you to all our viewers and subscribers we have out there. I know If you know, from what I know right now, we only have 90 subscribers, and that's not like a lot, but it's something. And I see that we get a lot of views in our videos, and not to like 70 and up views, and that makes me like kind of like relieved and happy that I know that people are watching our videos, and that's it. I probably said this already. Crud. I should have done this last. Like and comment, subscribe if you haven't. If you want me to talk about something specific on the next Domo Talks, feel free to comment on this episode. Like the videos, please. I don't know. Like the videos you enjoyed. Comment if you want me to talk about something in the next episode. And subscribe to our channel if you haven't. And share it with your friends if they like anime, card fighting, and whatnot. And that's it. Domo from Team Card F will be signing out. I'll see you in the next videos. Bye. You down?